It's Brandon Adams back here live at our Dog Nation World headquarters as a part of our Before the Hedges special recruiting coverage presented by Kroger. And we told you we'd be breaking in as we had fun reasons to, and we do have one of those right now. As one of the premier members of Georgia's 2019 recruiting class has made it official. He signs his letter of intent. It's the five-star wide receiver Dominick Blaylock. We are lucky enough to spend a couple of minutes with Mr. Blaylock right now. Dominick, congratulations on a tremendous career and a fantastic senior season. And obviously, welcome to the Dog Nation family. How does it feel here for you today?
It feels great. It's been a long process, a fun process, but I'm glad I'm a dog now.
Well, I know a lot of Georgia fans are glad you're a dog as well. And, you know, Dominick, we talked to a lot of UGA fans about the recruiting process throughout the course of the year. And one of the things that came up when your name was mentioned a lot, not just the fact that you're an outstanding player, but the fact that you remain so steadfast and rock solid in your UGA commitment. Now, obviously, a lot of players go deep into their recruiting cycle with their deliberations. You chose to go about a different path. Why were you so sure about Georgia really so far into the past?
You know, the first time I went to go see Georgia, it was a great environment there, and I knew that spot was the spot I wanted to be at for the rest of my 4 years there. And I wanted to do what my brothers did, just take one visit to one school and make a decision and stay dedicated to that decision too.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I think you must have been impressed with what you have seen from the Georgia offense, especially in the month of November where, you know, the passing yards, the points scored, they all seem to be kind of coming at a pretty fast rate. What have you thought about the Georgia offense, watching it as a spectator for the last time before you'll become a member of that Georgia offense next season?
You know, they look like a great team. They're playing fast out there, playing hard. And I'm just very excited to go be a part of the Dogs family and play fast with them.
We are watching some of your highlights on our screen right now as you're talking. For a lot of the UGA fans who may be learning more about you today than they've known in the past, what can you tell those fans about what kind of player Georgia's about to get when it comes to Dominick Blaylock?
You know, you can get a good player on and off the field, a quick player that's quick on the field and everywhere else, and just a player that's works hard.
Absolutely. And, you know, you talked about, you know, kind of falling in love with Georgia from the get-go. Specifically, what was it about Georgia that you really liked so much?
They had a great environment there, like I said, great coaching staff, great academics there, and great football, everything.
Are you following the rest of these signing day stories closely? Do you have other players that you hope to see UGA get today?
Yes, I've been watching very closely.
Any other players that you hope to see the Dogs come away with here?
You know, one of them I hope to get Jaden Hazelwood. Doty already signed all of them, Chesman, all of them, but hopefully get some more.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you mentioned Jaden Hayes. Well, that's obviously a player that plays your same position. How much fun would it be to get a chance to play with another five-star wide receiver like that and really create that tandem that we see so many folks in college football, teams trying to create right now? It sounds like you kind of see some interest in maybe teaming up with Hazelwood at the college level.
Yeah, it'd be very fun lining up with Jason on the other side of the ball and, just like dual threat and, just having fun out there, playing hard, winning games.
You also mentioned Rylan Godey. I know Rylan's been a good friend of yours for a long time, and that's a big target there as well. And I know Rylan dealt with an injury a little bit during his senior season, but we saw what he was able to do at the beginning of the year. What are Georgia fans also getting in Godey, a guy who is in the fold here, and is going to be another one of those big receiving targets at a slightly different position, but much like yourself, a big target here for Jake Fromm going forward. What should Georgia fans expect from your buddy Rylan Godey?
He's a great tight end. He's a great blocker, great catcher, great runner, and they're getting a big tight end for Georgia, and we're just very excited about that too.
Well, you used the word excited. Dominick, I can certainly tell you that Georgia fans are very excited about you, about having you in the fold here for 2019. Is it a relief to have this over? I've heard some recruits say that, hey, listen, I'm just kind of ready for this to be done. Are you glad this is behind you? Or tell us about your kind of feelings now. Are you glad to sort of put this in the rearview mirror here?
Yeah, like I said, it's been a long and fun process for me, and I'm just glad it's over. And I'm glad I'm a dog, and it's been very fun, though.
Are you a little jealous of guys like Clay Webb, who's a 5-star offensive lineman, a recent UGA signee, who's actually getting a chance to go through some of the practices right now? And he won't play in the Sugar Bowl, but as the team prepares for the Sugar Bowl, some of these early signees are getting a chance to do that. Are you a little jealous that some of these your fellow classmates are already getting a chance to go through some of those Georgia practices?
Oh yeah, I'm a little jealous. They get a good jump start on everything, and they are already practicing with the team, and yeah, but I would say I'm a little jealous.
For the people who may not be aware, what are your future plans? Will you be an early enrollee? Will you be someone who arrives in the summer? For some of those who are just finding out about some of that kind of stuff, what are your future plans when it comes to that?
I would actually be going in the summer and during in May, and going there. So yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, when you do arrive, I know Georgia fans are going to be glad to have you. We really appreciate you being part of our Dog Nation coverage here, and I know you've got a lot of folks who want to say congratulations to you, so we'll give you a chance to speak to those. But Dominick Blaylock, the 5-star receiver, thank you so much for spending a little time with us here on the Dog Nation video channels on what is a very special day for you and your family.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Incredible stuff there with Dominick Blaylock, the 5-star wide receiver. Mark Chapman says, welcome aboard, dog. And that's one of the things we wanted to do. We wanted to provide Dominick that chance to be welcomed in by Dog Nation, and we appreciate many of you guys doing that. Hellrel on Facebook says, we also wish you a prosperous, I should say, career at UGA, and no doubt Blaylock has quickly become one of the most popular figures associated with UGA recruiting in 2019. He's an outstanding player on the field, and clearly Georgia fans think big things in line for him in the future. It's certainly going to be incredible to see, and obviously he's being welcomed in. Certainly going to be welcomed into a Dog Nation here very, very well. So great stuff from Dominick Blaylock. Good to have him here as a part of the Dog Nation fold as he makes it official, signing his letter of intent to be a part of Georgia's 2019 class. And incredible stuff. We appreciate you being with us. We'll have more surprises coming for you here on the Dog Nation channels throughout the day. It's our Before the Hedges special recruiting coverage presented by Kroger. We'll have more later on, including live coverage of Nakobe Dean and Trey Sanders coming up throughout the afternoon. So hope you'll stick with us in the Dog Nation video channels all day long. We appreciate you being with us.